You're back with the Freaks, Fox Sports 910 Phoenix, the biggest names in sports, at Kenny and Crash, at Fox Sports 910. Bo Brock, he's here. Suave, he's somewhere. Crash is over there. I'm Kenny Sargent. Back in the Freak Nation, Brittany Force joining the Freaks. And Brittany, you've been in the Freak Nation many, many times. But I'm going to start this out typically like we do. And it has nothing to do with racing. But have you been offered a gig inside ESPN's The Body magazine like your sister and your old man yet?
I don't know if that's really for me. Courtney, what she did was awesome, and I still can't believe she did that. I was out there the whole day they were shooting. I was so nervous for her. But, the pictures were great. They were beautiful, and she still has fans come out all the time to sign them. My dad about has a heart attack every time someone pulls him out. But, no, definitely not for me.
Why do you say that's not for you? You still want to walk around nude in front of camera people?
Not my thing.
Then how is it your dad's thing when he decided to do that?
Yeah, that was interesting, too. I was also there for that one. That was in-house at John Force Racing in our Year Belinda shop. So all day, my girlfriend at the time was working for my dad, and she's like, do you ever get used to seeing John Force walk around in his underwear all day long? And it was just, you get used to it.
It's Dad!
You see a lot of things at John Force Racing, so.
Didn't your dad, though?
His was a little different. His was the body you don't want because it was crashed in 2007 and all the brakes and, he destroyed himself, so.
But didn't he say it was kind of part of his rehab, was doing that magazine spread?
Yeah, to come back from doctors told him after his crash in 2007 he wasn't going to walk again, definitely wouldn't drive again. So, being able to do that magazine, it was kind of like a comeback, and it was exciting for him.
Brittany Force, top fuel pilot, joining the Freaks on Fox Sports 910, getting set for a big weekend at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. Driving for John Force Racing. Let's get this other one out of the way. We talked to Leah Pritchett after her big win at Pomona, and the last thing I asked her is, would she, if asked, dance with the stars? Would you dance with the stars?
Someone just asked me that about a week ago.
Bastards.
Honestly, with our schedules, there's no time for it.
No, that's not the question. Would you know? Brittany,
let's say the schedule aloud.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I've never really even watched the show. I know what it is, but our schedule doesn't allow for it. And my focus, I want it to be on my race car, nowhere else. So I don't know if that's my thing either. It would be fun, but I think it's a long series. Isn't it?
It's a good 13
weeks. It
weeks.
drags on for a while, so.
Are you a reality show fan of any kind? Do you watch anything like the Survivor Series or anything that's going on now?
I just got into The Bachelor.
Really?
Yeah, just recently. People have been, my sisters and friends have been trying to get me into it forever. So I'm like, okay, I finally need to watch this thing and see what's going on. But
and are you hooked?
yeah, it's pretty good.
What hooked you, do you think?
What's that?
What hooked you? What was good about it?
It wasn't what I don't know. It's just, it was, the first season I watched was, I don't remember any of the names, but it was just watching all the guys battle for the girl. It was just funny. It was funny to see them all go at it, and it's reality TV. It's exciting.
And you guys, as a Force family, had your own reality show for a couple of years. Was it ever weird, the cameras in your face, and were there times you got really mad at them?
Oh yeah, that was interesting. That was back a few years ago, but it wasn't my thing. I didn't love it. Having cameras follow you everywhere and, putting all your personal life out there for everybody to see, I wasn't a big fan of it. And it did get frustrating at times, and it took your focus away from where you wanted it to be. So that was definitely tough for me. But, my family did it together, so it's something we'll always have.
Brittany Force, we're talking with you about, of course, the rest of the 2017 NHRA season. You've got some wins under your belt of coming off last season. You, I believe it was one of our interviews with you last season, talked about how you, Courtney's more like your dad. Ashley is more like maybe a combination of your mom and dad, and you're more like your mom. Do I have that right? Or do I have you and Ashley
Courtney
backwards?
Courtney's definitely exactly like my dad. It's scary. They are exactly like, and the more I point it out, she knows that we're all right. She is exactly like him, and it's terrifying. But I have a little bit of both. I have my dad and my mom in me. Definitely both. I'm not as crazy as my dad.
Let's get back to the Bachelor conversation, though. What would it take to receive a rose from Brittany Force?
Ooh.
Okay, now you're testing how well I actually watch The Bachelor.
Well, I don't watch it at all, so you could tell me anything.
And just get to the rose ceremony. What would it take to get a rose?
Mm-hmm.
Are you big on chivalry? Dudes opening doors?
Yeah.
Changing a tire in 8 seconds flat?
No. I don't know.
Packing your
I don't know.
shoes?
That's a strange question. I've never been asked that. Someone that makes me laugh.
Okay.
Ah.
All right.
And if you bring up anything about cats, I'm a cat person, so that would win me over too.
Okay.
Meow.
All right.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Maybe Crash is the person for you. Crash
I'm a cat lady too. Call me a crazy cat lady. I don't care. I love my cats. They're awesome. I sleep one under each arm. They're the greatest.
There you go.
You knew you were getting in this type of interview when you were on the freaking.
Yeah, I remember it from a year ago, 2 years ago.
Every time you call in after a big win, we get the drag racing out, and then we're a big fan of the personality. Brittany Force getting set for a big weekend at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park.
Heck, an entire big 2017 season. I mean, this is a great season for you guys.
Thank you. I mean, coming off last season, we got our first win. That was huge. We've been chasing that since 2013, since my rookie season. To finally capture that first win, I'm still so proud of that for my entire team, for all of us, all of John Force Racing. First top fuel win for John Force Racing. So that was huge, everything around it. And then getting 2 more wins after that. But now this year we want to step it up. We want more wins, and we're going after that championship.
Oh, listen to her. She's greedy.
Well, talk about Phoenix last year.
Phoenix, I mean,
Yep.
It was a good start for us. We went to the finals, and we didn't take the win home, so it doesn't count. It's not what we won. We made it to the finals, but it wasn't us. But we did it the next weekend, Gator Nationals. So it was kind of like our stepping stone to our first win. It was a great start for us last season.
And tell us who won.
Leah Pritchett.
Right. And I bring that up because you're, how old are you?
30.
Okay, you're still at that age where old bastards like myself and Bo, it means something that
32.
you're still over 30.
You could be my dad.
Oh, snap.
What's awesome about that is people your age and Suave's age, millennials, they don't. It's not a gender thing. It's who's underneath the helmet, which is cool to see happening and pushing us old bastards out. That it means something to us that a woman can kick the dude's ass. But you still get some of that, don't you?
I mean, absolutely. I started driving at 17 in Super Comp, and I raced there for about 3 years. I drove A Field for another 3 years, and there were times when Courtney and I would pull up to the line, and we're running. Where's the guy we're running? They won't race girls. They don't want to lose to a girl. So we've had that happen a few times, and it's like, okay, I'll take the win that way. That's fine.
And we're talking since the year 2000, when this really shouldn't be an issue anymore.
Yeah, it's happened.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's not. I mean, that's not how it is in Top Fuel.
Now, do you remember and I'm not going to ask you to reveal the names, but do you know these drivers? Do you know who the drivers were?
Actually, I want to say it happened out here in Phoenix when I was in Super Comp.
Was his
I know,
last
it was
name
so long ago.
Arpaio?
No, I don't know the name. I don't remember the name.
It's all right. We're just making fun of Sheriff Joe again.
That was a good question, Dad. As far as winning a couple times last year, and you mentioned the reality TV show, and then of course NHRA is now on Big Daddy Fox. You can see it now. What has kind of invoked the craziest fan reaction to you? Like, what's the craziest thing that people, maybe celebrating your win or commenting on the reality show? What's it been?
Well, I've signed a toilet seat before. I mean, I love our NHRA fans, but they are dedicated to the
They're passionate.
sport. Yes, very passionate, and we're lucky to have them. But we get some interesting ones that come up and have strange requests. Courtney and I have had a few marriage proposals out there, so you never know. You never know what you're going to get with your NHRA fans.
Tell us about the haters.
The haters.
You've got to have haters.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
but
Twitter. Ugh.
I'm not the type that digs and looks for it. Courtney's that type where she's very much like my dad. What's going on the internet? Read me everything that's going on. And Courtney digs through Twitter looking for the negatives. And I just don't. I'm not that person. I won't look for it because I don't want it to get in my head or upset me. So I'm not one that looks for it.
It sounds like somebody in this room. What's going on the internet? And Crash could just tell you every single thing that was negatively said about us on the internet.
Hey!
And who said it? Yeah, what egg Twitter account said it
Right.
about us?
The non-existing Twitter account. Right.
But that's
Thanks, Bo.
but on that note, you get into the popularity of drag racers within the drag racing realm. I don't care if it's NASCAR or Supercross, and you've seen other fans with NASCAR and Supercross. Can you compare the fanship with drag racing to NASCAR? There are similarities, but is there a different dedication in other series versus drag racing?
I don't know. I'm not a big, huge NASCAR fan, so I don't know. But I do know that anytime we promote something or getting voted into the Tracks of Shootout that we hold in Indy, I mean, our fans put us to the top always. They're always there. I mean, anytime we put something out, vote for us here, or come out and say hi. They are there. So we really do have the greatest fans.
You know, you talk about the Traxxas shootout in Indy. There's the Indy 500, which I know your family's becoming pretty big with because of Courtney, your sister's husband, Graham Rahal now. And then there's the U.S. Nationals. It kind of bookends the summer in Indianapolis, two of the biggest races in the entire country, the Indy 500 and the U.S. Nationals. But I want to see the U.S. Nationals get bigger. How can we take off of the Daytona 500 crowd, the Indy 500 crowd, to make your big marquee event, your big go, bigger? Because it should be. You guys are the fastest.
I know, it is. It's the biggest race of our season. It's the one race that everybody wants to win. We go out there and to get a win at Indy would just, that's on my bucket list. I mean, it's huge, and it's the one win that everybody wants, and it's an exciting race. It's 2 races in one weekend, so it's a busy weekend, but it's awesome.
I mean, is there any way that you guys can do a promotion with the Indy 500 to say, hey, don't forget us at the end of the summer?
I don't know. That's not really my department. So.
I know. I just want it to happen.
Let me ask you a toughie. As far as how much longer do you see 3 Forces racing in this series?
I don't know. I mean, I know I'll be out here for a while. I don't have any plans to go anywhere else. Out here, driving this car, this is what I love. This is what I know. And that's where I'll be. Courtney, she loves it too. But I know eventually her and Graham will probably have kids, so she'll have to step out of the seat for that. But, I mean, Courtney's my best friend. She tells me everything, and there's no plans for that anytime soon. And my dad, he's another one. He's tricky because he's in his 60s. He's in his early 60s, but he's not slowing down anytime soon. Fans keep asking him, when are you going to retire? And I don't see it happening. He has too much energy. He has to put it somewhere. We need him to put it somewhere, and it's in that race car because he's a lot to handle at home.
Ashley coming back anytime soon?
I hope so. I mean, I don't know. That's another question I get asked all the time. And she's so focused on her 2 boys. She has a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. But I would love to have her back out here. Just being able to race with her would be awesome.
That would be cool before John hangs it up. Have the 4 of you guys in one season.
I know, wouldn't that be insane?
Brittany Force, a big weekend, Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park, NHRA in town. Are you athletes? Are you an athlete?
Yes, I think so.
What do you say to those who say race car drivers are not athletes?
There's a lot more that goes into it than just stepping on the gas. I mean, I've been out of the seat for, our off season, and it ended in November, and we started up in February. So we went into testing about a month ago. So I've been out of the seat for a few months, and climbing out, being out of the car, jumping back into it. When we made 10 passes in Phoenix here just a month ago, my body hurt just because I wasn't used to it. I mean, you forget all the muscles you use, and you forget, just how extreme, how much is thrown on you driving these cars. And all of us are after, being out of the seat for a while, jumping back in it, your body feels it. You notice that you've been out of it for a while. So it's finally good to get back into the groove of things. But we stay in the gym. We have to in order to get these things down there, especially funny car drivers. I've jumped in a funny car before, and those things are tough.
But where? Because you say you're in the gym even throughout the off season. So what muscles are hurting after a test? After being out?
It's everything. It's your arms, your legs,
Really?
Mostly your back and your shoulders. That's where you really feel it after being out for a while.
Is it because of the G's at the start and
It's
the
all
end?
of it. I mean, it's 330 miles per hour, and when those chutes hit, you feel it.
I know the feeling driving a Jetta myself. But as far as the fast twitch muscles are concerned, how do you work those out? Maybe just quick for our listeners to kind of take them into your training regimen.
Well, I do everything now, and I used to always just focus on cardio and arms. I never really focused on my legs, which was dumb. I don't know why I didn't. But when Alan Johnson came in, he wanted to work on my reaction times. So he gave me a full-blown workout on my legs, working out my legs for reaction time. And he compared my reaction times with Torrance, Steve Torrance, who I compete against. He compared ours. We had the same reaction times. It's just that his lights were way better than mine because he was much stronger in the car in his legs than me. So we definitely worked on that, and I think it's helped, and now it's become part of my routine. It's my normal workout routine that I do all the time.
Have you seen some of the blowback last couple of weeks with the Monster Energy girls in NASCAR now versus the Sprint Cup girls?
I've heard a little bit about it, but I haven't dug into it. I'm not really sure what's going on.
I bring that up, Freak Nation. If you don't know, Brittany Force, her big-time sponsor is Monster Energy Drink. And you understand the irreverence that Monster brings to anything they're involved in. You're cool with that. Yet some of the old white dudes in NASCAR are offended that these chicks are showing up and showing their breath, showing some cleavage, tight outfits versus what the Sprint Cup girls had on. Were
But that's
tight.
what the fans like, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
That's just it. But you as a woman, are you offended or not offended by what women wear at the track?
No, I'm not offended. If that's what you want to wear, that's fine. And I mean, it draws attention to Monster, and I think that's what they're after. Drawing attention to their brand, their name.
All these sponsors in motorsports, that's just what they dress their girls in. And guess what? If the girls look good, okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you can wear it, go. Got it, flaunt it.
You got a problem with that, Bo?
No, I'm just doing my research.
You're looking for
Diving into it, I need to figure out what
Cleavage,
the,
research.
Yeah.
That's a great point, Crasher, because in sports cars, the demographics even older than it is in NASCAR, yet whether it's WeatherTech or Continental Tire or TRG Racing, the women are in tight outfits and no one's going, God, please put some clothes on, baby.
That's just their uniform. My uniform is a fire suit. It's just, that's what they wear.
See there? I don't have no problem with it. Her name is Brittany Force. Again, big time Saturday, Sunday. Got the finals on Sunday, more qualifying on Saturday. And this is a track where, again, you are competing for the finals. You're competing for the win. Last time you were here, you're pretty comfortable with this track, as we see.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I've raced here, like I said, Super Comp, A-Fuel, and we just came off testing here. So this is a very familiar track for me, but we want to take home the win. Came close last year, but didn't do it, so we want to start here.
If you had your druthers, meaning you'd rather face this person in the finals and kick their ass,
Mommy, Daddy, working.
whose ass would you like to kick in the finals?
Easy, that'd be Tony Schumacher.
Ooh.
Bam! Why is that?
He's one of the greatest out there. He's the champ. And I remember sitting in the stands watching him before I even got into Top Fuel. So to be able just to have him in the lane next to me is just, I mean, the first time I ever raced against him, I was so nervous because for me it was, oh my gosh, this is Tony Schumacher, who I remember watching when I was younger. So to be able to beat him in a final, that would be it for me.
Would you ever trash talk him?
If he trash talks me first, maybe.
Well, for some reason he loves Eminem in the staging lanes. That gets him fired up.
Mm-hmm.
So how about if you say, I got your Eminem right here, Tony.
I did not know that about him.
There you go, a little insight.
Actually, my dad too. My dad likes Eminem.
Really?
Yeah.
Would he know,
Fire up music, I
would
guess.
John Force know Eminem if he walked in his pits? If he walked in?
That means he'd have to focus. So probably not.
Brittany Force, a great follow on Twitter. Joining the Freaks on Fox Sports 910. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Go kick Schumacher's ass this
Yes,
weekend, will
that's
you?
the plan.
That's greatness.
Yes.
Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.